There's a Marjorie Titan Green video. Trigger warning. If you'd like to no longer see those ads, all you need to do is just pretty simple. Subscribe. You can do it for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Okay? By that logic, under socialism, no one would work, which is just wrong. Yeah. It's wild to think that... fuck, here's the ad break before I run it. It is wild to think that homelessness is seen as like a personal failure and not like a widespread systemic flaw. It blows my mind that like Americans cannot leave that weird world view behind where like every single thing is just like up to the individual and their fucking losses. It's so stupid. Hyper individualistic. I know leftists who think Fauci's a lying POC, POS, lying POC, lying POS. Fauci is a POC. He's, you know, he's Italian. He's Italian X. Okay, there's a lot of good content out there today, boys. So we're gonna move on from the homeless thing or the
Senate
crime in San Francisco. But to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene is literally a fucking child, okay? There is perhaps no better... There is perhaps not a single better instance that, like, Marjorie Titan Greene is, like, baby-brained idiot than the fact that they, like, literally sent her on suspension to a fucking... to a... Where did she go? She went to like a Holocaust Memorial Museum, right? And I'm sorry, it's fucking hilarious to like, for her to comprehend a basic fact that like you all know by heart at this point, which is that the Holocaust was horrible and it caused like incalculable, immeasurable pain to people. And comparisons to frivolous things like mask wearing, especially in the way that she made it, is like ridiculous. I love that she got punished like a fucking child. I was in this museum for a school trip. Yeah, literally. Like, I hope... And then they made her write a fucking, you know, they made her write an essay about this field trip.
Always want to remind
Here it is.
I'm very much a normal person. And I think it's important for me to always be transparent and honest. And I just want to tell you all, I'm really, really lucky. I am blessed with amazing parents. And my dad just passed away in April. But I will say he taught me some great things. And one of the best lessons that my father always taught me was when you make a mistake, you should own it. And I have made a mistake and it's really bothered me.
It's like she's literally being punished like a child and it's fucking awesome. Okay. This is great. We should do this more frequently. I think Felix was saying some shit like this as well on Twitter where he was like, this is the best thing, dude. This is actually something I'm on board with. Like the annoying, like liberal hall monitor types should absolutely use their like smarmy finger wagging for good. Like just do this for everyone, dude. Make them write fucking book reports on on, you know, shit that we all literally know. Yeah, Felix said, it's so fucking funny to make 50-year-old adults publicly go to museums and learn stuff. That's how everyone in Congress should be treated. They should have to do detention and shit too. Senators should have to give up their phones for a week and shit. Like, that's awesome. I mean, she has a kid brain. Treat her like a fucking kid. Felix also said, making Marjorie Taylor Greene go to the Holocaust Museum is pretty funny. I went there with my brother when we were kids, and we were like, well, this sucks. We already knew this stuff. And then we heard this woman say, oh my God, they couldn't wear makeup. And then realized that's who it's for. Like, that's literally who the Holocaust Museum is for Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like, that's why it's there. Like, you have to see it. If you're such a fucking monkey that you literally, like, have to see it firsthand to understand how horrible it was, like, yeah, this is for you. The Holocaust Museum is literally for you. Okay? That wasn't Marjorie Taylor Greene's takeaway. That was, like, you know, that other lady's takeaway. When he was, when Felix was a kid.
A couple of weeks now, and so I definitely want to own it. This afternoon, I visited the Holocaust Museum. The Holocaust is, there's nothing comparable to it. It happened, and, you know, over 6 million Jewish people were murdered. More than that, there were not just Jewish people, black people, Christians, all kinds of children, people that the Nazis.
The Holocaust, it happened. Dude, that's awesome. That's literally awesome, dude. Like, this is so... It's so patronizing, like, the way that we sent a fucking full-grown adult human being to the fucking Holocaust Museum and then get her to, like, do a public apology is great, dude. I swear to God, it's so good. It's so fucking good. It's great. I am unironically on board with this. Like, just punishing them in this, like, incredibly embarrassing capacity. Why is she doing a fucking press conference acknowledging that the Holocaust happened? America, baby. Replace Confederate soldier monuments with Holocaust and slave monuments so the MTGs of the world can see it and believe it.
Didn't believe were good enough or perfect enough. And the horrors of the Holocaust are something that some people don't.
Someone should ask Marjorie Taylor Greene who the first, who the original, like, first victims were in concentration camps and what their political orientation was. I wonder if she would have a different perspective on the Holocaust then. Probably like, hell yeah, brother, Marjorie Taylor Greene would be like, Hitler was good until, he started, putting the Jews in concentration camps. But when the Jews happened to be communist Jews, then that was all right. What? There's a lot we can learn from the Holocaust Museum, like, jailing political opponents for believing in things like communism. I learned a lot. The Holocaust happened. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Don't even believe happened, and some people deny, but there is no comparison to the Holocaust. And there are words that I have said and remarks that I've made that I know are offensive, and for that I want to apologize. And I am just fine and very glad to be able to come out here and do that because I believe it's important.
I was a big Holocaust fan until they started putting the non-commies in there. Yeah, literally. That's the Marjorie Taylor Greene approach. It's just like... It's just... By the way, we laugh about this, but, like, you have to remember that Candace Owens literally said this, okay? Candace Owens literally said Hitler wanted to make Germany great as a nationalist, but it became a problem when he wanted to become a globalist and engage in like expansion and, you know, make other parts of the European continent great as well. Like, she literally fucking said that, dude. And then the Republicans, who are straight up demons, used her as a talking person, as a talking head, like to deny that systemic racism exists in like Congress when they were doing I forget what the exact reason was, but when there were congressional hearings and Republicans brought up Candace Owens on their side.
I believe that if we're going to lead, we need to be able to lead in a way where if we've messed up, it's very important for us to say we're sorry. And
yeah, for those of you who don't believe me or say I'm embellishing.
Yeah, I agree. I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that it gets, the definition gets poisoned by elitists that actually want globalism. Globalism is what I don't want. So when you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler. You know, he was a National Socialist, but if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. The problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted.
Like, she literally said this, dude.
To globalize, he wanted everybody to be German, everybody to be speaking German, everybody to look a different way. That's not, to me, that's not.
By the way, that's literally what America does. So what the fuck is she saying? Like, anyway.
Nationalism. In thinking about how it could go bad down the line, I don't really have an issue with nationalism. I really don't. I think that it's okay. It's important to retain your country's identity.
Yeah, dude, Hitler's nationalism was excellent. Is not the take I thought you would hear from like a Republican commentator, but you know, let's think about some of the things that Hitler did in his own country. I don't know, like throwing Jews and communists in concentration camps, you know, that happened inside of Germany's borders as well. So that's okay then? Okay, it's great.
And to make sure that what's happening here, which I think is incredibly worrisome in terms of the decrease in the birth rate that we're seeing in the UK, is what you kind of want to avoid. So I don't have anything problem.
Anyway, is this Holocaust denial rhetoric? No, this is literally not even Holocaust denial. This is saying that like the Holocaust was good rhetoric. Okay? That's like, she's not denying it. She's just saying that it was good. Like, Kristallnacht was good, the least anti-Semitic conservative. What do you suggest I say when some dipshit wants to tell me Nazis were socialist? I can't find succinct ways to answer. Ask them why they think the Nazis were socialist. Like, what kind of socialist policies did they implement when under the Nazi Party's regime, Germany literally underwent some of the most significant privatization efforts? If they were socialists, why did all the socialists get fucking murdered? If they were socialists, why did they literally target communists and socialists as their first political prisoners that they put in concentration camps? And then follow up by asking if they think the Democratic People's Republic of Korea is actually democratic just because it's in the fucking name. Yeah. incredible socialist policies like working with business owners, working with titans of industry to squash any sort of unionization effort whatsoever. I love the conservative argument for this, by the way. I love the conservative argument because they'll say Hitler was socialist because it's in the name, and Hitler wasn't nationalist, even though that's also in the name. And it's like, Hitler is not fucking criticized by the entire world for, I don't know, continuing the Autobahn project, okay? Like, that's not the fucking criticism of the Nazi party, okay? Like, no one is like, I can't believe Hitler built the Autobahn, time to invade fucking Germany. Like, that's not how that works. It was a nationalism that was kind of not poggers, okay? Reminder for chat, people wanted to vote for this guy. I love the way Candace Owens thinks. Oh, yeah. Man, Kanye West. What a legend. Autobahn not even started under Hitler, sad? No, I said that already. That's why I said continuing the Autobahn project. For the record. And not like creating the Autobahn. Like, a lot of the welfare policies existed before Hitler and before the Nazi party in Germany, including the Autobahn as a project. The Autobahn is like a superhighway, basically. Anyway. She has Pixar mom energy. I know why you said that, you fucking freak. Okay. So yeah. After you visit the Holocaust Museum today, earlier during recess, you compared Democrats to National Socialists. Is that something you will stand by after you reflected on everything the Nazi Party did? You know, socialism is extremely dangerous, and so is communism. You know who else thought that? The Nazis, by the way. Just remember, she's fresh off the heels of, like, going to the fucking Holocaust Museum. So, I mean, I guess in Holocaust museums, they don't really talk about that, especially because, like, there is, like, literally... Some of these Holocaust museums also operate like victims of communism memorials and shit like that, where they change their attitude towards right-wing reactionary fucking fascists real quick. But, you know, that's a separate subject we won't get into. And anytime a government moves into policies where there's more control and there's freedoms taken away, yes, that is a danger for everyone. And I think that that's something we should all be wary of. Anytime you have things like censorship with social media, anytime where we have things being taught, where one race is being told it is race like critical race theory, those are problems. Yeah, because the Nazis were famously not, the Nazis were censorious, but what were they censoring exactly? When they were book burning, I wonder if the books that they were burning were literally the same books that Marjorie Taylor Greene would like to burn as well. It's so funny when these people are like, yeah, censorship, that's Nazi Germany. And then they literally are like, trans and like gender should not be taught to children. You know who else thought that? Literally fucking Nazis, dog. They literally burned a fuckload of medical research in Germany about trans people. 95% of books banned today in the US are related to LGBT. Yeah. Like the real censorship in America comes from the conservative side still, okay? And let me tell you another thing about the modern Republican Party and how similar they are to the Nazis. Nazis had a take that you still hear all the fucking time, which was cultural Bolshevism, okay? Cultural Bolshevism. That turned into cultural Marxism throughout time. Now, you might be familiar with the term cultural Marxism, or how the Frankfurt School is responsible for all of the degenerate mental rot that the Western civilizations are subjected to. The modern version of that basically is just Jordan Peterson telling you that feminists are ruining Western civilization. That's what the Nazis believed in. They believed that Jews got together and concocted an idea within like higher learning centers, institutions for higher education, to create mental rot. To create, you're ruining every online conservative talking point. Stop. I'm sorry. Nazis believed that Jews were secretly trying to degenerate Western society, or rather, Nazi Germany, and taint the pure way of thinking, the Aryan way of thinking that focused on classical arts and the good stuff. And that concepts like liberation for women or liberation for marginalized groups and equality for black people, things like that, were actually bad because they would ruin the beautiful folkish society that Hitler wanted to craft. A society for folk. That argument is exactly the same argument that conservatives make today. Like, exactly the same. With some of the words changed a little bit. Folks? No, Volk. V-O-L-K. The real Germans. It's exactly the same when conservatives say, oh, there's cultural Marxism in our institutions and it's causing brain rot amongst our youth that is degenerating the supremacy of Western civilization, which is a wonderful thing. That is no different than what the fuck the Nazis taught and what the Nazis believed in. It's just that they don't single out Jews anymore. That's it. That's the only difference. Anyway, anytime you have things like censorship with social media, anytime where we have things being taught where one race is being told that his race is like critical race theory, those are problems. Yeah, the Nazis were similar to the Democratic Party because they were teaching that, like, white people are racist towards Jews or anti-Semitic and they shouldn't be anti-Semitic. That's why the Nazis were bad. Famously educating everybody on the fears or on the toxic ideology rooted within anti-Semitism. These are things that we're seeing in policies coming out through the Democratic Party, and I think are dangerous for everyone, and that's why I'm against them. I'll never stop saying I'm very much on track, and never stop saying we have to save America and stop socialism. That's what Hitler said too. There is no veteran that signed up to serve in the military, and there's nobody that fought for our country because they wanted America to be a socialist country. They all did it because they want America to be a free country. That's kind of weird because, like, no, most people that serve in the military literally fucking serve in the military beyond, like, family members that were already in the military because they're like, you know, military families, but like they literally serve in the military so they can get social democratic benefits, like social safety nets that other countries that you would consider to be socialist would offer for free to its citizens unconditionally. So no, like you're literally wrong about that. When motherfuckers are like, yeah, I served, I've sold my body to the American government and did unspeakable shit that fucked me up because I wanted to go to college for free, that's literally doing it for what you consider to be socialism. Okay? That's not socialism, but you know. So you still stand by that analogy? That's the important thing to remember. Thank you guys so much. We got to head out to vote. Yeet, yeet. So she went there and she didn't understand anything.
The Fire Fauci Act will bring Dr. Fauci's salary down to zero and also will require the Senate to confirm someone to fill his position. You see, Dr. Fauci was not elected by the American people. He was not chosen to guide our economy. He was not chosen to rule over parents and their children's education.
That's literally what he was chosen to do. Okay? How are you a congressperson and don't understand that, like, the CDC literally has that power? Like, the CDC absolutely has the fucking power for preventing massive pandemics from spreading, from pandemics for like destroying our country. Their main responsibility and job is to literally rule over the country with an iron fist. They have more of a right to do that than the Supreme Court does, if we're going to be real about it. Okay? They literally have more of a right to do that. Even if they get rid of him, can't Biden just appoint whoever he wants? Is the plan here? I don't know. But to be fair, like, I don't even give a shit if they fire Fauci. Like, I'm done with him, dude. I'm done. I can go to the gym without a mask. I don't give a fuck if Fauci's fired and someone else gets in his place. Who cares? I mean, he did fuck up a bunch. Let's be real. He did fuck up a bunch, dude. But we're all vaxxed up. I don't give a fuck if they fire Fauci, dude. Fuck him. I do not care, dude. I do not care at all. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm being totally honest with you. Let him fucking write books about, you know, being in the Trump administration or whatever. Who gives a shit, dude? Liberals will keep him afloat for the rest of his life. They love him. They love him so much. True colors showing, you selfish bastard. I mean, I don't care. He's fucking 800 years old. He fucked up in the beginning of the pandemic with the mask shit and probably eroded some confidence, which is one of the key things about managing pandemics is like not fucking up. And he fucked up on a very significant part of what a government agency is not supposed to do. Okay? He didn't get punished for it at all. At the time, it didn't matter. At the time, he actually was still better off within the administration because he was working with Trump and knew how to manage Trump. But now that Trump is gone, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, fire him. Shame him. He also had to have gays tell him AIDS was real. Yeah. That's entirely. Fuck you mean? That was because of a mass shortage? It doesn't matter. I know it was because of a mask shortage, and that's why he had to lie to the public. But ultimately, you erode confidence that way. Not everyone is going to be like me and understanding and be like, yeah, it doesn't matter. First, they came for the socialist quote is literally on the wall of the Holocaust Museum. She should know this, but probably can't read, so she missed the quote. Doublespeak is okay because of mask shortage. Yeah, I mean, they could have just said, like, fucking we don't want you to buy masks right now, or we're gonna do everything we can to like seize masks and give it to. I mean, it would have caused chaos. I don't know what the best way to deal with that would have been at the time, but I do know that saying that like you shouldn't wear masks or informing the public that like masks don't do anything probably caused a little bit more harm than good. You know what I mean? Think about how we reacted to toilet paper, though. Like, I understand why they thought that was the right thing to do. He said, don't do anything where, in the beginning of the pandemic, Anthony Fauci said that masks are not preventative and they're not good, so you shouldn't buy masks. Like, that they don't do anything and that you shouldn't buy masks. And then we found out later that it was specifically so that healthcare workers had access to PPE, and that we didn't fucking completely eviscerate the mask market, I guess. Hindsight is always 2020. I'm sure that's his biggest regret. And that probably eroded a lot of fucking confidence. It wouldn't have changed anything because people still bought masks and hoarded them regardless. Also on top of that, it's not like motherfuckers who don't believe COVID is real would have like believed Anthony Fauci if he hadn't said that. Like, that's dumb as fuck. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm simply stating is like, I don't really care that if he got fired at this point, or if he left his position of power at this point. He's like 800 years old, and he originally did fuck up. And I'm also even stating that I don't know if it would have been better off if he wasn't a part of the pandemic response team in the aftermath of like the fucking mask wearing fiasco. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't even know if it would legitimately change for the better or for worse. It probably would have been worse. It probably would have been worse overall if it was someone else that was in charge and not just Fauci. I don't care about him like funding Wuhan lab research. That's idiotic. Of course he's going to do that. Like, that's dumb as fuck for people saying like, oh, I can't believe he like funded the research of the Wuhan lab. Like, yeah, no shit. No, there's literally wasn't decisive data on the efficacy of masks plus fear of shortage, but latter reason was a bigger factor. You can't handle your anti-mask takes. Can't handle your anti-mask takes, honestly? My anti-mask takes? What do you mean? Did you come here like yesterday? I was a fucking massive advocate for fucking masks, dumbass. I'm anti-mask? Why don't you like wearing masks post-COVID? Yeah. 0 people have died in California, in Los Angeles from COVID in like the past 7. I think 4 people died in the past 7 days. There are 357 people still dying every single day of COVID in the United States of America. There are 124 new cases of COVID in Los Angeles over the course of 7 days. Okay? 0 people died today and the day before. 100% of those people are not vaccinated. The deaths, I mean. 100% of every one of those fucking 357 people that die every day in America to COVID are not vaxxed up. Okay? But those numbers, at this point, how low those numbers are is the reason why the CDC believes that we can reopen the fucking economy. Okay? And let go of the mask measures that we currently have. So if you're going to come to me and tell me like I'm an anti-masker now, then yeah, fucking I am, I guess. COVID minimizer? What? Not gonna lie, you sound like a conservative right now. Why? Why would you give up? Why would you give up, like, scientific evidence to the conservatives? Like, as a liberal, you should not do that. As a leftist, you should definitely not do that. So now we should open because the CDC says so, but not when they did before? Wait, what? Yeah, that's literally the argument I'm making, is that I trust the CDC, and I still trust Fauci too, but I think that he still eroded a little bit of public trust, and that's what you cannot do as an epidemiologist in the middle of a fucking pandemic. I still maintain the position that it could have been worse off if it wasn't Anthony Fauci and like someone like Dr. Deborah Birx, who was literally worse than Fauci at being a suck up to Donald Trump. So his replacement would have been worse off. But also, having said that, now that I'm fucking vaxxed, now that I'm vaxxed up, now that I'm vaxxed the fuck up, and 64% of adults in this country have gotten at least their first shots, then fuck yeah, dude. Absolutely fuck yeah. I'm not only on board with anti-mask shit, and I'm happy that we no longer have to wear masks, but I also think in order to protect retail workers and in order to protect like people that work in like lobbies and fucking, you know, personal trainers at Equinox, or, you know, the person that gives you your coffee at the fucking coffee store, we should have vaccine passports in America. It's not 54%, it's 64% of adults. Isn't that the problem though? We're opening out without passports. No, because passports are never going to happen. And secondly, as it stands currently, it's not that significant of a problem anymore, especially because of how many people have been fucking vaccinated. That's why I gave you the declined, like the drastically diminished impact of COVID. That's why I mentioned that in California, for example, that's the reason why there's only 124 new cases of COVID. Like, living your life in constant fear, thinking that, like, it's going to flare up again, is a silly way to live. I'm sorry. Now, this doesn't mean that, like, tomorrow a new variant starts fucking murking people. Okay? If a new variant starts murking people because of these fucking dumbass hogs who refuse to get vaccinated, and the virus mutates, and there's a new strain, and it starts murking people, then yeah, of course I will change my opinion on social distancing and mask wearing. But as it stands currently, while we are living in America right now in the way that we are currently existing, it's good that the mask initiatives are getting taken down. And that's not on me. That's on Fauci, okay? That's on Marx. That's on Fauci. That's on CDC. And I believe in science. 129 in LA, not entire Cali. You misspoke. Sorry. Like, I see no reason to fucking maintain this notion that, like, we still need to have like these protections in place, because you're failing to recognize that, like, one, people are fatigued, and that's going to make it harder for people to, like, fucking actually take the shit seriously if it pops off again. Part of the reason why I believe in vaccine passports and advocate for vaccine passports is because I want people to forcibly get vaccinated. I want people to be annoyed into getting vaccinated so that we eradicate any sort of, like, variant. Yeah, dude, until it's already fucking your home up. What the fuck does this take? I mean, you literally shouldn't drive a car ever again, because, you know, you will get into car accidents when you get in a car. We take risks every fucking day. People literally fucking mistake like understandable disease prevention and spread prevention with just going full-blown fucking fearmonger method on this sort of stuff. What is this fascist take? How is that fascist? I still wear a mask because I'm immunocompromised, and since everyone, including the unvaccinated, are going maskless and putting me at risk, because even vaxxed, I'm high risk, and people don't give a fuck about people like me. Okay, but, like, that is a consistency. Like, that's consistent even if it's not COVID. Like, there are immunocompromised people across the board that are immunocompromised and at high risk of fucking dying from catching anything. Do you understand? Like, that would mean that we have to, like, literally live inside of a bubble all the fucking time. Non-stop. So maybe that's the initiative that a lot of people are advocating for, but I don't know. You're literally stupid. It's just the flu, dude. Trust me. Literally your take right now. I'm not saying it's just the flu, but with the vaccines, it is just the flu. Actually, it's less deadly than the flu with the vaccines. So yes, I am literally saying that. And you wouldn't shut off the entire fucking... You wouldn't shut off the way that, like, society operates because of flu season. With the vaccine, it's literally less worse than the flu, motherfuckers. So what is this argument? Every time there's a fucking flu season, like, we have to straight up shut everything down? That's crazy. How did it get to the point where, like, it was conservatives that didn't trust the CDC, but now that the CDC is saying, like, no, you have the all clear if you're vaccinated, and now liberals are like, I don't trust the CDC. We still need to be more careful. I'm extremely disappointed in these takes. Okay, I mean, go ahead. Dude, you're talking about the U.S. in terms of mask wearing, yet you have an international audience that's in places where COVID is still rampant, hence the disconnect. I agree with you. Guys, this argument is entirely about America, okay? If you're in fucking Brazil and you think I'm talking to you, you're out of your fucking mind, okay? I'm talking about the United States of America, one of the few countries on this planet currently that has a high enough percentage of vaccinated people that, like, the epidemiologist experts are saying we can return to normalcy. So if you are rushing to fucking, you know, talk about the Center of Disease Control for, like, Somalia, if you think that I meant, like, the Ethiopian CDC when I was referencing, like, vaccinations in America and mask mandates being lifted in America, then I don't know what to tell you. So we should remove all protocols and let the hogs free? Ridiculous take. I mean, the hogs have been free regardless of whether we have protocols or not, brother. What do you mean? They're hogs. They literally haven't been listening. This is about freeing yourself and trusting the science and trusting the experts. You are refusing to trust the experts because you're so fearful that, like, the experts might be fucking wrong. And you're being careful, which is fine. If you want to be careful, go ahead. But I'm happy that California and the Californian government is following the CDC's recommendations and have lifted the mask mandates. I've been double vaxxed for months now. Like, I've been double vaxxed for a month plus. I think it's the leftist mentality of always wanting to be right with that chatter. What? The problem is, like, you've heard me shit on conservatives for having similar takes to what I have right now when it was not warranted to have those takes. So you hear things that I'm saying and you're like, you sound like a reactionary right now. Yeah, if this was fucking 6 months ago, I would be a reactionary. But changes happen. And we had an incredibly successful nationwide vaccination campaign. Like, let science do its fucking thing, guys. Holy shit. I'm sorry that I don't trust random chatters and I instead trust epidemiologists. If the CDC turns around tomorrow and says, we got to go back to fucking, you know, shutting shit down because there's a new variant that's, like, murdering people, even vaccinated people, then I will do that. But as it stands currently, saying that I'm reactionary for following the fucking actual CDC guidelines, I don't know what to tell you. The new COVID variant Delta that can fuck you up, thanks anti-vaxxer, 64% vaccinated is not enough. Well, it's enough for the CDC, motherfucker, for the time being. So luckily, we don't have to listen to you, and we have to listen to the experts instead. So I'm going to continue listening to the experts.
Looks like today
and not you. How about that? And if the experts change their fucking takes on this matter, then I will follow through. Kind of weird, man. It's kind of weird to be, like, anti-science from a liberal point of view, so it's okay. Your take is literally the most level-headed take, but for some leftists, they're so dumb they think dropping the mask is a W for hogs. So now you trust the CDC? I mean, I always trusted the CDC, and I still trust the CDC. I trusted the CDC when Fauci said mask wearing is not optional, or mask wearing is not significant. I trusted the CDC when they said, oopsie, that was wrong. We should wear masks. And I still trust the CDC now. Did you forget the nearly one fucking entire year and multiple debates that I engaged in, including on fucking Fox News, with conservative pundits where I defended the CDC? Are you fucking as brain dead in order to like literally make an argument here? To make an argument here, you have decided to just like completely forget all of the times that I have advocated for whatever the fuck the CDC was saying. You've been here for 9 months. You should know better. Just like you should know that at the top of the hour, an ad break is coming right now. And in order to end the ad break, or in order to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. That's good. That's the best segue I've done today. Fuck you guys. In order to no longer see the ads, if you're fucking annoyed by seeing the ads, all you need to do is subscribe, bitch. And you can subscribe for $5. Or you can subscribe for free with a Twitch Prime. Okay? But here's the fucking ad break now. Look up the stats, guys, before just making random arguments. Yeah, like, people are fucking crazy. If you want to make an argument that, like, COVID is still devastating and deadly, then look to the current death or fatality numbers and look to the new case numbers. And then come back to me and make an argument from an empirical standpoint. Okay? You feel me? Holy shit, read me. States like mine are the reason it's still unsafe to have that messaging. My state is at 40% of adults vaxxed and less than 10% of children. It's better to have a flat message. Would you not say? No. Unfortunately, this shit is handled on a case-by-case, state-by-state basis. States like yours, I don't know which state you're in, have never even fucking followed through on federal guidelines regardless. What makes you think they're going to follow through on federal guidelines now if they're literally not getting vaccinated? Like, what is this argument that, like, California should continue to fucking shut down because, like, maybe Texas will listen to the federal regulations when their entire fucking aesthetic is built around, like, not listening to the fucking federal regulation? You know what I mean? Anyway, your perspective is so backwards. Dude, this person, why are you promoting coronavirus? Dude, I think we should literally, you're right, Crystal Serpent. Crystal Serpent is correct. I think what we should be doing is like literally shut in. Okay, we should shut in, shut down, never fucking contact one another. We should go back to like the lockdown that we had at the apex of COVID, on the off chance that, like, you know, we might actually get like, just keep wearing masks all the time. Don't let like large gatherings occur because, you know, COVID might happen again. Or what if what if new fucking COVID variants come out and actually start killing people that even are vaccinated? What if? With that mentality, you could advocate for anything. But Hasan, as a white man, how is anyone supposed to know I'm a leftist if I'm not wearing my mask? I think you're making a straw man. No, I'm exaggerating. It's an exaggerated, absurd argument that I'm making off of the same level of thinking that is demonstrated by the chatter here. Okay? Chatter is saying that you should wear a mask. You should continue to wear a mask, and that I'm fucking promoting COVID, and I'm essentially promoting a second pandemic with my rhetoric that, like, we should trust the CDC. Okay? Everything you're saying sarcastically sounds rational as fuck. Dude, you cannot have your own fucking neuroses be the government regulation for other human beings, okay? If you're literally agoraphobic or introverted and want to stay inside all the goddamn time, you can't literally expect the country to be run that way, you fucking gamers. Holy shit, dude. Literally jail all the gamers. God damn. That shit makes me so mad. It's like incredibly fucking selfish that some people are just like, I liked the way things were because it doesn't fucking bother me. And you just want to go out and party. Yeah, motherfucker, I do want to go out and party. Holy shit. Come on, dude. We all had like, it was like we were having one big snuggle party when we were all fucking indoors. You have the fucking selfish take? Really? I have the selfish take that we should return to fucking, like, that ultimately our goal was to move beyond this pandemic and like return to normalcy. That was the selfish take. It's so crazy that like all of these epidemiologists are being selfish by trying to fucking, you know, return society back to normal so that we can, you know, go outside again and socialize again and have children develop social functions rather than live on the fucking internet. Just because normalcy sucked for you doesn't change the reality that it's good for a lot of fucking people. The overwhelming majority of people require that shit. How is this any different? How is this any different than the motherfucking conservatives who were like, I want to do this right now. I don't give a fuck what the CDC says. I want to go outside and I want to get a haircut. I don't care that COVID is not real. Fuck it, I'm snitching. Embrace the stunlock. He gets mad so easily. Man, trolling in chat is so fun. Ban that person. I'm banning Crystal Serpent. It's not just for the economy. It's for fucking mental health, too. There you go. Have fun with that, dumbass. 8-month subscriber. I think all of the like 8-month plus subscribers in here that are saying like your takes are so stupid. Your takes are so stupid. Your takes are so stupid. A lot of people that keep saying that, I legitimately believe are saying that because they've like, they just want to trigger me or some shit. I don't understand. You're denying science now.